What does it really mean to win your wife back? Is it when she finally says, I love you again? When she lets you back in the bedroom? When she puts her ring back on and tears up those divorce papers? At what point do you actually know you've won? Here's what most men don't understand. Winning or losing your wife is not black and white. It's not some finish line you cross. Here's the hard truth. Most men realize way too late that they were the ones who gave up when she was still fighting for the marriage. Let me tell you about a client I worked with. We'll call him David. David had come to me after his wife told him she wants a divorce. He sat in his car one night, just staring at his phone, wondering if he should even text her. She was inside the house, he was out there, and he told me, Noah, I felt invisible, like I already lost, like no matter what I did, she couldn't even see me anymore. That's the moment most men give up. They decide it's over before it actually is. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use the masculine integrity to win her back using the heroic husband method. Master this and you'll bring back sexual desire for you. You'll feel confident and completely bulletproof against rejection. This is what we call the Man of Steel mindset, or MOS. But if you fail to learn this skill, you'll stay stuck as friends with your wife. She'll lose attraction and you'll get caught in your head every time you talk to her. And you'll stay confused about why you keep emotionally crumbling around her. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Noah Allen. I created the heroic husband method with the E.L.M framework. That's emotional layering method. It's a 3-phase system: emotional healing, shifting, and emotional bonding. I've used to help thousands of men win their wives back without bending over backwards just to make her happy. Stick around to the end because I'm going to share a powerful lesson that will completely reframe how you see rejection. You know what resentment is? It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think about it like this. You're standing there holding a glass of poison. Your wife handed it to you when she said something that hurt, when she pulled away, when she said she didn't love you anymore, and instead of setting that glass down, you kept drinking it, cup after cup, thinking she needs to see how much she hurt me. If I just keep suffering, she'll finally understand. But here's the thing. She's not watching. She's not dying. You are. That's resentment. And it's killing your chance to get her back. Now, here's the thing. Your wife has a dual narrative going on inside her head. Part of her still loves you and wants you back. But the other part, the louder part right now, is pushing you away. But guess what? You have the same dual narrative too. And when you don't heal the part of you that pushes her away, you will sabotage everything. I see this all the time with guys in my program. They're constantly checking their phones, yelling at her, or trying to drift back to the same old habits that got them there in the first place. So let's talk about how to release that resentment. This is the part of the emotional healing process, the first part of the E.L.M method. The first way, stop bleeding all over your wife. On a recent call, one of the guys said, my wife should just let go of the past. Well, let's break that down. When you say should, you're arguing with reality. You're saying things shouldn't be this way, but they are this way. And the more you fight what's real, the more you show up weak, frustrated, and powerless. Here's the exercise. Think of a should statement you have about your wife right now. Something like, my wife should let go of the past. My wife should trust me again. My wife should appreciate what I do. Now ask yourself, how do you react when you think of that thought? Most guys say, I get angry, I feel pissed off, I pull away. And that anger, that's exactly what's pushing her further away. Now, next question. Who would you be without that thought? If I could go into your brain right now and just delete that sentence so you can never think about it again, who would you be? Most guys say I'd be calm, more loving, more committed, more masculine. I'd make her feel safe. Now here's the powerful part. Turn that sentence around. Instead of my wife should let go of the past, try this. I should let go of the past. How is that true? Maybe you're holding on to things she did. Maybe you're still angry about the emotional affair or the way that she poked you last week. My wife should not let go of the past. How is that true? Well, she hasn't. That's the reality. And when you argue with reality, you lose every time. You should let go of the future. How is that true? Well, maybe you're focused on getting her to come back, that you're not present with her right now, and she can feel the neediness. It pushes her away. Let me tell you about a guy named Marcus. Marcus came to me frustrated. His wife had an emotional affair of 6 months. And every day, Marcus would wake up thinking, she should just get over it. She should move on. She should forgive me for how I reacted. But every time he thought that, he'd get angry. He'd pull away. He'd snap at her over small things, and she'd pull away even more. When we did this exercise together, using the emotional healing process, Marcus realized something powerful. He said, Noah, I've been holding on to this too. I'm still angry at her for what she did. I haven't let go either. That was the turning point. Once he stopped shooting on her and bleeding all over her, he could finally show up as the calm, steady man she needed. Second way to heal resentment is find wisdom. Wisdom is just a memory without emotion. Let me tell you a story that changed my life personally. When I found out my mom was seeing her ex-boyfriend from high school, I was furious. I thought, she's choosing herself over my dad, over our family. I decided I was never going to talk to her again. The second way you heal resentment is find wisdom. Wisdom is just a memory without emotion. So let me give you a metaphor that personally changed my life. Think about a hot coal. When someone wrongs you, it's like they handed you a burning hot coal. And what do most do? They grip it tight. They hold on to it because they think if they squeeze it hard enough, somehow the other person will feel the burn. Here's the truth. You're the only one getting burned. And every time you replay what she said, every time you think about what she did, every time you tell yourself the story of how she wronged you, you're picking that hot coal up again and you're burning yourself all over again. Wisdom is when you finally realize, I can just put the coal down. You don't have to forget what happened. The coal is still there. You can see it, you know it's hot, but you're not holding it anymore. That's what wisdom does. It takes the memory and removes the pain. You remember what happened, but it doesn't hurt you anymore. And the moment you put the coal down, you're free. Your hands heal, and you can finally move forward. That metaphor changed everything for me because I realized I've been carrying around a whole pile of hot coals, and I was the only one getting burned. Look, if you ever tried carrying this weight, if you're done feeling powerless and want a clear plan to rebuild trust and lead your marriage again, here's what you need to do. Click the link below and book a free call with me and my team. We'll walk you through exactly how to use the heroic husband method and the E.L.M framework, the emotional layering method framework, to win her back, even if she's emotionally shut down and you're ready to leave. This isn't therapy. It's the emotional layering method. Healing, shifting, and bonding. Don't wait for her to believe in you again. Become the man worth believing in. All right, let's keep going. Now we're moving into the emotional shifting phase. Here's the thing most men don't understand. Safety is the foundation of her connecting to you. Danger equals fear, and fear equals death. We're wired deep in our brains to move towards things that help us survive: food, shelter, love. And we move away from things that threaten us. So if your wife is pulling away from you, it's because on some level she doesn't feel safe. Now I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. And it wouldn't serve you if I told you anything else. And the good news is you could change that. So here's the key. You need to stop being needy or shut down. Most men fall into the one of two camps. Camp one, the needy guy. This is the guy who's always chasing, always asking, are you going to say I love you? Always checking her phone, always needing her validation. Here's a real example. I had a guy tell me his wife left for work one morning without kissing him goodbye. They'd been fighting, sure, right? But she always kissed him goodbye, always. So what did he do? He opened up the front door, walked outside, and yelled down the driveway as she's getting out of the car. Aren't you going to say I love you? She looked at him, and the look on her face, disgust. Because he was really saying, do you still love me? I'm terrified you don't. Please tell me I'm okay. That's not attractive. That's not leadership. That's fear. And she felt it. When you're needy, she doesn't feel safe. She feels smothered. She feels like you're a liability. Then camp 2 is the shutdown guy. This guy who avoids the issues, he stays late at work. He escapes into books, porn, or hobbies. He doesn't talk about the problems. He just disappears. When he does that, she doesn't feel safe either because there's no nest for her to rest in. I always say this: men build the house, women make it a home. That means the masculine constructs the environment for the feminine to rest in. And here's another analogy. Imagine your wife is a beautiful bird. Some guys put her in a cage. They control her. They suffocate her. Other guys have no nest at all. No boundaries, no backbone, no stability. But you need to be the nest. Strong boundaries, stable, safe, but not controlling. She can fly in and out as she pleases, but she knows there's a safe place to land when she's ready. That's masculine integrity. That's what we teach in the emotional shifting process. I'll give you an example from inside the program. There's a guy, let's call him Ryan. Ryan used to be the cage guy. He'd check his wife's phone, follow her on social media, ask her where she's going every time she left. He thought he was protecting the marriage, but really he was suffocating her. And when Ryan stopped controlling and started leading, when he built strong boundaries, but gave her freedom, everything changed. She started coming to him. She started opening up. She started leaning on him again because now there was a nest, a safe place, not a prison. Now, I know you're married, but I want you to understand something important. Your wife is still a woman. A woman needs to feel certain things to feel connected to you. Did you know that in that story about Ryan, he was direct? He didn't ask for permission. He just led. He didn't collapse when she tested him. He stayed calm. He was persistent, but not obnoxious. And when she pulled away, he didn't take it personally. He just kept leading. That's masculine integrity. Here's what you can learn from this. Be direct. Don't ask permission to be yourself. Just be yourself. That's true self-actualization, being the complete authentic version of yourself. Don't take her tests personally. When she rolls her eyes and says something cold, don't collapse. Stay steady. Be persistent, but not needy. Keep showing up. Keep leading. Do not chase. I'm going to tell you about a man named Carlos. Carlos used to wait for his wife's approval on everything. Should we go to dinner? Should I buy this? Should I talk about the kids about that? He was being respectful, but she saw it as weak. When Carlos started making decisions, not asking permission, just deciding and leading, his wife noticed, and she didn't say anything at first. But one night she said to him, I like this version of you. That's it. No big conversations, just that. Because she finally felt that she could relax like someone else was holding the wheel for once. Let's say you come home from work. Instead of walking up to her and saying, hey, how was your day? What's going on? How are you? Which is needy and pulling energy from her. Just be present. Tell her about your day. Make a joke. Don't need anything from her. She'll feel it. She'll feel like you're a man with his own energy, his own confidence, his own life. And that's attractive. That's the emotional shifting process at work. A lot of guys get confused when I say, validate your wife. They think I'm telling them to agree with everything she says, to put their tail between their legs and just surrender. Listen to me. Hell no. Validation doesn't mean agreement. That's like one of the biggest misunderstandings. It means understanding. Let me give you an example. This moves us into more of the emotional bonding process. That's the third phase of the E.L.M. But I had a guy in my program, and let's call him Mark, okay? Mark's wife was verbally abusive, She would scream at him, criticize him, sometimes even get physical. He was sleeping in the basement, and on our call, I told him, "You need to move back upstairs. You need to tell her the way she speaks to you is not okay, and if she can't honor that, you need to move out." Now, here's the key. He started the conversation with validation. He said, "I understand it's painful for you to be around me because of the past. I get that. But I also need to respect myself, so I'm moving back upstairs. You can stay in the room with me, or you can move out. It's your choice." That's masculine and integrity. He understood her, but he didn't agree with her behavior. And he didn't let her control him. Here's what happened with Mark. His wife resisted at first. She yelled. She said he was being selfish, but Mark stayed calm. He didn't argue. He just said, "I understand this is hard for you, but I need to do this for me." A week went by, then 2 weeks, and then one night she knocked on the bedroom door and said, "Can we talk?" That was the beginning. Not because he controlled her, but because he respected himself, and that made her feel safe again. And the lesson? You can understand someone's pain without agreeing with their actions. You can validate her feelings without losing yourself. That's the balance. That's the emotional bonding process. At the beginning of this video, I asked, when do you know you fully won your wife back? Well, here's the truth. You get to decide. There are men who thought it was over when their wife said, "I'm leaving." And there are men whose wives moved out, filed for divorce, and still came back. So what's the difference? The difference is this. Rejection is something you decide. If you feel defeated by what she said, if you think it's over based on her words, then you're going to make it so. But if you refuse to give up, if you keep leading with strength, calm, and consistency, then there's always a path forward. I want to tell you about a man named Ian. Ian was blocked by his wife for months. No contact, no updates, nothing. She wouldn't even tell him where she was staying. Most men would have given up, but Ian didn't chase her. He didn't beg. Instead, he doubled down on himself. He rebuilt his discipline. He trained his mind. He stayed steady and calm, even when it hurt like hell. Then one day, out of nowhere, she reached out. She said, "I don't know why, I just feel like I can talk to you again." That's it. No big explanations, no apology. She just felt the shift. Before she even understood it, she felt it. That's the power of the heroic husband method. When you lead with strength and steadiness through all three phases, healing, shifting, and bonding, she feels your change before she believes it. The smartest woman I ever met said this. I asked her, "How do I know my partner is the one, my soulmate?" And she said, "If you want her to be, that's it." You have more power than you realize, more ability to shift a relationship than you think. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Don't take rejection as a final state. Take it as a fleeting moment in how she feels. And recognize that you have the power to influence that. Look, brother, this pain doesn't have to be your ending. It can be your new beginning. You're not broken. She's not broken. You're just caught in a loop. And the way out starts with you. If you're ready to lead your marriage again, if you're ready to rebuild trust, reignite connection, and become the man your wife can respect and desire again, click the link below. Book a free call with me and my team. We'll walk you through the exact steps of the heroic husband method and the E.L.M framework, the emotional healing, emotional shifting, and emotional bonding. The same system that's helped thousands of men win their wives back. No begging, no games, just clear, consistent leadership. Don't wait for her to believe in you again. Become the man worth believing in. You've got this, brother. Lead yourself first. Everything else will follow. I'll see you in the next one.